Welcome to Good Morning Football. 1 hour left, one person's picks to go. This is Good Morning Football. It's January 17th. You guys all made your picks. I know we have 2 for the Titans. What's the rest looking like? What's the NFC looking like?
I think we have a clean sweep for the 49ers. Niners. They're getting a lot of love here.
I went Chiefs thinking that they would be the favorites, but both Nate and Kyle both have selected the Titans to beat the Chiefs on Sunday.
Will I disrupt and pick the Packers? We'll find out a little bit later. It's time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Hey guys, I want to start with the head coaches in the AFC Championship game. Even though it's only Mike Vrabel's second season as a head coach, he certainly has a history with Andy Reid. Vrabel caught a touchdown pass in the Patriots Super Bowl 39 victory over Andy Reid's Eagles. And yesterday, Vrabel was asked what Reid has meant to him in his career.
Andy Reid bragged about you on the conference call yesterday. What were your thoughts on him and maybe how he's built his football team there?
Andy's been a head coach in this league for 21 years, and the league's a better place because Andy Reid and his family are in it.
Reid has a 1-5 record in conference championship games as a head coach. He has the second worst winning percentage in the Super Bowl era. Gentlemen, every other coach on this list has relooked over won a Super Bowl in their career as a head coach. Andy Reid still searching to hoist his first Lombardi trophy. First, what do you guys think of what Mike Vrabel did say shortly there about Andy Reid, and what would a win on Sunday do for Reid's legacy?
I think Vrabel is a student of the game. He comes from a long tradition, and not only with the Patriots, but Ohio State, and he himself was a Kansas City Chief at one point. And Vrabel respects Andy Reid, but I can't tell you guys, there's people around the league texting me, blowing up my phone, just about how much they want this for Andy. Forget the Chiefs franchise for a moment. Forget Mahomes. Forget even what the Titans are up to. Just Andy. You think about the tree and who is on his coaching tree. It's John Harbaugh. It's Doug Peterson. It's Matt Nagy. It's Ron Rivera. Then it's all the coordinators off of that and all the other former coaches that go into it. Everybody speaks the world of Andy Reid. He is a huge pillar of the NFL, and yet he has never won a Super Bowl ring. It is the one glaring pockmark on his resume. I was telling Nate a story before we came to, and I was debating whether to say it on air because I know you both will roll your eyes tremendously. I walk into a coffee shop in my neighborhood on Sunday morning, and there is a celebrity that I see right away. I'm like, I know who that is. I will tell you his name in a second, but I'm like, there he is.
Movies, music?
Movies.
Okay.
He looks at me. He's dressed incredibly, and he's a handsome man who's one of the greatest thespians of his time. Wow. And he looks at me and he has no idea who he is. There's no recognition. But it's an empty coffee shop, and he sees another person who he thinks might have watched the game last night and goes, "Did you see the Ravens game last night?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That's crazy." I go, "Huh?" And he goes, "And did you see that the Patriots lost already to the Titans?" I'm like, "Yeah." And this guy, this actor, says to me, "Don't you get the feeling it's Andy Reid's year?" And I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, "It's going to be at home at Arrowhead. They've already gotten rid of Belichick and Harbaugh." And then Ethan Hawke looks at me.
What? Oh, man.
And is like, "I feel like it's Andy's year." Ethan Hawke, who has no idea who I am. Trust me, there was no like, "Hey, I'm a fan of the show."
Just wanted to talk football.
He just wanted to talk ball, and he wanted to talk Andy. Wow. He's a Philly guy. He says Andy Reid, and like he was like, I just hope it's Andy's year. I think there's a real sentiment here for Andy Reid, and it's not just in Kansas City. I think it's throughout the NFL, and I think it transcends the NFL. Andy Reid's a good man, and a lot of people want to see Andy Reid win. That will be his legacy. If he doesn't win, it's always going to be a pockmark, and I think that's just going to be tough for me to stomach.
You met Troy Dyer?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
What?
Andy's certainly had his share of training days.
Yes,
I mean, he's put in his time. And I'll just continue to
go on. I was going to say Reality Bites.
It really does. It's not my Sharona. Listen, I will continue the theme, though, because Andy Reid is a classic archetype of someone who's absolutely beloved by his peers, his rivals, everything, who just can't win the big one. Like, for a long time, it was Scorsese, and he couldn't win it. And at one point, 3 6 Mafia had an Academy Award, and Martin Scorsese did not.
I love Hustle and Flow.
But this, guys, this is the one. This is the Gangs of New York. This season, now, right now, Patrick Mahomes in the offseason is probably going to sign the biggest contract in the history of the NFL. That's going to siphon some talent. The teams that are young right now in the league are getting better. Frankly, you're at home playing a 6 seed in the title game. You got to win, and they got to take care of business against the NFC. I really worry that if not now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the thing. I don't want to join that society, but I think he might.
Yeah, it's tough because at one point you listen to somebody like Ethan Hawke who is saying it perfectly. He's basically saying, doesn't it seem like it's all fitting in the right place for Andy Reid? And even as much as we do respect the Tennessee Titans, it's almost like you're not playing the Patriots. You know, you're playing the Tennessee Titans, so this is the perfect opportunity for you to go ahead and skate on into the Super Bowl and hopefully win a ring. You know, I love the fact that Andy Reid is doing it his way. We ran something on the show on Sunday where Bill Cowher went down to Kansas City and he was talking with Andy about how he was doing everything that he was doing this year. And Cowher, being old school football, hard-nosed, run the rock, and let's play good defense, he said, Andy, you don't want to run the ball a little bit, just a little bit. You know what he said? And Andy kind of laughed and was like, hey, we're going to do it the way we've been doing it. And it's been working.
Sorry, I don't have Jerome Bettis, coach.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing that I love about this game, that it is truly what I said in the Burrow lesson. It's power versus speed.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, for any old school traditionalist, you can sit back and say, if you run the ball nowadays, you can beat any of these high-flying passing teams. And if you're a young coach that wants to throw the ball 50 times, you're almost hoping that Andy Reid wins because it validates your perspective on the game and how it has changed. I don't know what's going to happen. I have been a little bit of an edge going to the running attack of the Titans. But then again, Kyle joked about it before we went to commercial break in the last hour. This could be 50-30 Chiefs because they are just that good on offense.
There's been some questionable decisions he's made in playoff games we can all remember, time management, all of that, but you can't shake the fact that he is 6th all-time with 207 career wins. He has made the playoffs 15 times in 21 seasons. I will say this, and this is no shade towards anyone. Is Patrick Mahomes the first extraordinary, transcendental, elite-level quarterback he's had to work with? Because when you look at the greats among the coaches, I made a list here. Belichick and Brady, Walsh and Montana, Jimmy Johnson and Aikman. No disrespect, but Mahomes is that guy, and it's a blessing and a curse, because if he can't get it done with Mahomes, then it's a huge indictment on Andy Reid. But if he can get it done, usually those legendary winning, Super Bowl winning coaches that we look at and remember and revere and love and want to write books and write movies about are tied to really elite quarterbacks, and Mahomes is that.
The only guy I can think of is Joe Gibbs, who won 3 with 3 different quarterbacks. Theismann, of course, Ripien, and Doug Williams. But, Kay, to your point, there are only 3 coaches in the Super Bowl era in the Pro Football Hall of Fame who did not win a ring. It's George Allen, Bud Grant, and Marv Levy.
What do you think?
Those are the only 3 to ever get into Canton without some of the hardware. Andy Reid's Hall of Fame discussion becomes very interesting if he never gets the ring. I think everyone says slam dunk now, but when you go into the history of time, to have played in one Super Bowl and not win it.
I think it is very simple. Let me ask you this question. If Andy Reid were to go in, he retire this year and go in without winning, what clip would they roll at his induction? A 2002 divisional round win? It's the holding up the Lombardi. Even just recently, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Cosby, they got the trophies. It's the Hall of Fame. You don't get in for going to the title game. You got to win
Is the first thing you think of when you see Andy Reid, he hasn't won a big one? It's one of the first things I think of.
It gets there really quickly, really quickly.
And I'll take it a step further, and I know we're not there yet, but you also have to consider, in due time, if you don't win a ring, the organization is going to start thinking about moving on. And I know you're saying, well, Nate, they're in the AFC Championship game. They win year after year. But listen, the Golden State Warriors had Mark Jackson as a coach, and they were in the playoffs every single season. They made a really dramatic change and fired a playoff-winning coach for Steve Kerr.
Well, the Eagles.
And look what Steve Kerr did with the Golden State Warriors. Just saying.
Quickly, favorite Ethan Hawke movie?
I'm going Training Day.
White Fang.
White Fang's fantastic.
So good.
I'm a big Gattaca guy.
Yeah?
It's real. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm probably Reality Bites. That was
So
a
good.
very important part of my
You like
life.
Stiller or Winona? Yeah.
Of course. Ian Rappaport, we like him quite a bit. He's in New York somewhere. Ian, we've got 2 of the best tight ends in the game playing in these conference championship games, both on Sunday, both on the injury report this week. What can you tell us about the status of Travis Kelce and George Kittle for Sunday?
First of all, I don't think we gave enough time to Ethan Hawke's musical career. I'm surprised Kyle didn't mention that. But anyway, as far as some of these star tight ends this week, and we'll start with Travis Kelce. He's been banged up a little bit, battling a knee injury. From what I understand, it is tightness in the IT band of his knee, something that is causing soreness and actually plagued him last week. He was listed as questionable going into the game. He was able to play. He played a lot. He scored a lot of touchdowns. I would expect the same thing this week if he can just kind of deal with some of the discomfort that he's feeling on the field. As far as George Kittle goes, this was a surprise that he didn't practice on Wednesday. Still dealing with some lingering ankle soreness. They knew he was sore. Didn't know he was that sore. He was able to practice fully on Thursday. I would expect him out there today. He should be good to go. So injuries or not, both of these superstar tight ends should be on the field for these big-time matchups on Sunday.
Appreciate you, Ian. We'll talk to you in a bit. We've got picks coming up. We've got lots to get to here on the show. And after this, Nate has a receiver who's bound to ball out in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's going to shine bright.
That ain't Devontae.
Receiver?
Yeah, Debo's coming.
We'll talk about brightest stars after this. And I've been sweating this all morning. I will make my picks, the final picks of the show for Championship Sunday. How's Twitter treating y'all?
Fantastic.
Is it?
It's a good mood. It's Friday.
Friday.